Hello everyone, I am Karthik KV, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering from AJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. So last class we already discussed about thermodynamics, what is that thermodynamics and what is thermodynamic system and different types of thermodynamic system and what is state of system, process, path of process and closed cycle, what is temperature and pressure, heat energy is nothing but what is the difference between heat as well as work, and the first zeroth law of thermodynamics, first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics. In that second law, Kelvin Planck's is nothing but what, and Clausius statement is nothing but what, and third law of thermodynamics. Everything we already studied. Along with that, properties of thermodynamics also we had seen. Okay, so today's class will discuss about the steam portion. This is the last portion in the first module. Okay, steam portion. So from this portion we are going to study about how steam formation inside the boiler, and along with that some related little problem related to that steams. Okay, that is also there. So today's class will discuss about the basic knowledge of production of steam. So first one is enthalpy. What is that enthalpy? Enthalpy is the, we already studied about in the last class what is thermodynamics. So what is that thermodynamics? Thermal is nothing but heat, and dynamic is nothing but motion or transfer. So heat transfer process is called as thermodynamics. Next, what is that thermodynamic system? So thermodynamic system is nothing but a quantity of matter or region in space chosen for studies, for different types of studies, is called as thermodynamic system. So enthalpy is nothing but, so it is a total amount of energy in a thermodynamic system is called as enthalpy. So total amount of energy, how much amount of energy is available in the thermodynamic system, is also called as enthalpy. So enthalpy, mathematical combination of internal energy plus pressure energy. So pressure and volume energy. So the internal energy is nothing but what, first one is potential energy, second one is kinetic energy, along with that some other energy is combination is called as internal energy. So here you can observe, here one is capital and one is small. So you can also express like capital H as well as small h. So small h I already explained while discussing the thermodynamics chapter. One is small v as well as capital V. So what is the difference between small v as well as capital V? So capital V is nothing but actual volume. Okay, capital V is nothing but actual volume. The small v is nothing but the specific volume. The specific volume, how to define? Specific volume is the ratio of actual volume divided by mass. Okay, specific volume is the ratio of actual volume divided by mass. So that is nothing but specific volume. So how we can define this specific enthalpy? So here this is actual enthalpy. So actual enthalpy is equal to U plus PV, pressure into volume. So specific enthalpy is nothing, this is small h is indicated by specific enthalpy. So specific enthalpy is indicated by, so specific enthalpy is the ratio of actual enthalpy divided by mass. So we can also denote it like this. So specific enthalpy small h is equal to capital H divided by mass. So then it is called as specific enthalpy. So actual enthalpy unit is what? Kilojoule. Kilojoule is a unit of capital H. Okay, then if you use this specific enthalpy, then divided by kilojoule per kg. Okay, this is the unit of specific enthalpy, small h. Small h unit is kilojoule per kg, is nothing but actual enthalpy divided by mass is called as specific enthalpy. So this is the unit of kilojoule per kg, it is a unit of specific enthalpy. So this is very important while solving the problems. Okay, what is that specific enthalpy as well as actual enthalpy? In the problem they will directly mention the enthalpy, Why? Because everywhere in the steam problem they are using specific enthalpy only. So instead of mentioning the specific enthalpy, they directly mention the enthalpy. Don't confuse small h as well as capital H. In the steam problem they are directly using small h only, so that they are not mention the specific word. Okay, specific enthalpy they are not mentioned anywhere. Okay, why? Because usually we are using small h only. The unit of small h specific enthalpy is kilojoule per kg. Okay, next, entropy. So what is that entropy? Amount of energy that is not available for work, okay, during a certain process, yeah, or a measure of disorderness of a system. So easy way you can explain. So entropy is a it is a measure of disorderness of a molecule. Disorderness of a molecule, then it is called as entropy. Okay, so it is the amount of energy that is not available for work. So that is not available for work, just that type of simple, that is the energy. It is that type of energy is not available for work, that is called as entropy. So enthalpy is nothing but total amount of energy in a thermodynamic system is called as enthalpy. H is equal to U plus PV. So PV is the work, along with that internal energy. Internal energy is nothing but potential energy, kinetic plus kinetic energy, and some other energy. Okay, total is called as internal energy. I hope all of you understood the difference between enthalpy as well as entropy. So entropy is nothing but amount of energy is not available for work. Amount of energy is not available for work, that is called as entropy. So it is a measure of disorderness of a molecule. Okay, measure the disorderness of a molecule. Next we'll see the formation of steam. Okay, how it will be forms. Okay, steam, usually we already studied the boilers. So different types of boiler, we which boilers we already studied. So that is nothing but Babcock and Wilcox boiler, as well as Lancashire boiler we already studied. So here the different type is nothing but the heat will be produced by burning of the coal. Okay, so some situation we already studied the classification of boiler also. Some we are externally burning of coal. Some boiler we are internally burning of coal. Likewise we classified, and water tube boiler as well as fire tube boiler, everything we seen in the second module. So today we'll discuss about what happens, what type of product it will be produces boilers. So boiler will produces the steams. Okay, so it may be in any form. Okay, steam may be in any form. It exists in three different states. Okay, so steam exists in three different stages. So what are those? Wet steam, dry steam, as well as superheated steam. Okay, so it is in the form of three different stages. So that is wet steam, dry steam, and superheated steam. So wet steam is nothing but the boiler tank, the steam production in a boiler tank. Okay, so because of that, what before the starting of boiling process, we have to fill 50% of water in a boiler drum. Okay, so then adding heat. Okay, adding heat, what happens? The steam will be generated. Steam is nothing but by adding heat to the water, it converting from liquid state to vapor state. Then vapor form of water content is called as steam. Okay, the wet steam, it is called as wet steam. Vapor content, so water content steam, water content steam, water content steam is called as wet steam. That will be having lesser density compared to liquid water, so it will be collected at the top of the drum. Okay, then we are using we have to that this type of steam is further moving to superheated chamber for further process. Okay, so like this. So steam here, wet steam, it is different stages: wet steam, dry steam, as well as superheated steam. So wet steam is nothing but what? Water mixed steam. Okay, some water content, water particle present in a steam, that type of steam is called as wet steam. Okay, so the wet steam density is higher than the dry steam density. Why? Because it is having some water particle. In the wet steam, it is contains some amount of water particle. Okay, next one is dry steam. So what is that dry steam? Dry steam is nothing but the pure form of steam. There is no water content in a is present. Okay, there is no water content is present in a steam. That type of steam is called as dry steam. That type of steam is called as dry steam. Next, third one is superheated steam. So what is that superheated steam? Superheated is nothing but further heating the dry steam, then you will get the superheated steam. So what is the use of superheated steam? So efficiency, it helps to increasing the of efficiency, as well as increasing the work output of the power. Okay, increasing the work output with the help of by using of superheated steam. So likewise it is classified into wet steam, dry steam, as well as superheated steam. Okay, wet steam is nothing but the water particle present in a steam. That type of steam is called as wet steam. Dry steam is nothing but pure form of steam. There is no water particle present. And third one is superheated steam. Further adding heat to the dry steam, you will get superheated steam. Okay. Next, steam generation experiment. Steam generation experiment is conducted to know the property of steam, such as pressure, temperature, specific volume, etc. So steam generation experiment, where we can conduct, it is nothing but build a boiler and adding heat to the boiler. What happens? It is slowly converted into steam. That steam is called as wet steam. Why? Because it is water mixed steam. Then we can further adding heat to the wet steam, then water particle removes, you will get the dry steam. Further adding heat, you will get superheated steam, like that. Okay, so here pressure, temperature, as well as specific volume. What is that specific volume? Specific volume is the ratio of actual volume divided by mass. Specific volume is it is the ratio of actual volume divided by mass. Okay, so here the formation of steam you can see here. So I will tell you one by one. So here, one a container, this is one container. Okay, cylinder. Okay, container or cylinder. So and also you should use the weighted piston. And water is at 0 degrees Celsius. Initially water is at 0 degrees Celsius, and you collect in a cylinder the certain volume of water you should collect, and placed above the water you should place a weight, some amount of weight. Okay, so water temperature initially at 0 degrees Celsius. Understood, right? Take one container or cylinder, then certain amount of water, certain volume, that is denoted by V. Okay, so certain volume of water is added to the cylinder or container, and above the water level you just place the weighted piston. You just place a weighted piston. Then below the cylinder you just use burning of coal or heat. We need heat. Okay, so then you add heat to the cylinder. You adding heat to the cylinder. So here it initially it was in 0 degrees Celsius. If you adding heat to the supply heat to the cylinder, what happened? That water is slowly converting into vapor forms. That water is slowly converting into vapor forms. So that is called as, in that case, volume is increases. Volume is increases. Why? Because the volume is increases. Why? Because it loses its density. While when the water gets into heated, it loses its density is the thing. But density is equal to mass by volume. Mass by volume. So mass is increases. So volume is decreases. Why? Because so volume is increases, mass is decreases. So weight of the water is reduces. So that vapor content which will be collected at a top, so then volume is increases. So density is equal to mass by volume. Density is equal to mass by volume. So mass as well as volume are inversely proportional to each other. So if density what happens? Density losses is nothing but mass is reduces of vapor. Along with that, while reducing the mass, what happens? Volume is increases. Volume is increases. Likewise it will works. So here initially, so I will first starting from here only I will tell you. So initially 1 kg of water you should take in a cylinder. 1 kg of water you should take in a cylinder. At that water temperature is at 0 degrees Celsius. So then the volume of water is denoted by V. Okay, certain piston weight you placed above the water. Then what happens, you just adding heat to the 1 kg of water. The 1 kg of water is slowly converting into vapor forms, so that how we can observe this weighted piston is moving slowly upward direction. Because of that, this water is slowly converting into vapor forms. So then the water is at not at 0 degrees Celsius. Water, it becomes TS degree Celsius. TS is nothing but saturation temperature. So the if you adding heat to the water, slowly that water gets into converting from 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature. Okay, saturation temperature. At the same time, the volume is increases, mass is decreases. So while converting from liquid state to vapor state, density of the water is reduces. Density is directly proportional to mass. So if density is reduces, is nothing but mass of the vapor is also reduces. But the volume is inversely proportional to density, so that volume of the water gets into increased. So that volume is increased compared to previous method. Okay, volume is increases. So it is denoted by Vf. Okay, so Vf is nothing but, so that is nothing but sensible heat. Okay, I will explain what is that sensible heat, so in the next slide. Okay, next so here I understood, you understood, right? So next, so further adding heat to the waters. Okay, further adding heat to the water. Here the water is reaches to the saturation state. So if you add further heating to the water, that water remains in saturation state only. The temperature remains constant. After water reaches to the saturation temperature, further if you add heat to that particular water, what happens, that all heat is utilized to converting from liquid state to vapor state, but not temperature not increases in this state. Okay, understood, right? So once the water is reached to the saturation state, then all the heat, whatever heat is supplied to the water, all heat is utilized to convert the water into vapor. Okay, so at that time water temperature remains constant. Water temperature remains constant. Saturation liquid, so saturation liquid along with that water vapor at a Ts degree temperature only. The temperature remains same. Then so the saturation liquid state only, along with that temperature remains Ts degree only. Okay, so here it is denoted by Vfx. Okay, so that is nothing but the latent heat. So here the volume is nothing but the sensible heat. Vf is nothing but sensible heat. Vfx is nothing but latent heat. I will tell you in details. So what is that Vf and Vfx, everything I will tell you. So I hope all of you understood, right? What is the difference between here and here? If you initially the water 1 kg of water is at 0 degree Celsius. If you adding heat to the water, what happens? It is slowly converting from vapor state. At that time volume is increases, and that will be reaches to temperature is reaches to a saturation state. Then further adding heat to the water, what happens, whatever heat is given to the water, that all heat is utilized to convert water into steam. Okay, converting that water into steam. Initially here it was in wet steam. So here if you further adding heat, what happens, slowly whatever heat is given to the water, that all heat is utilized to convert water into steam, but the temperature remains same. So whatever heat is supplying, that heat is utilized to convert water into steam. Okay, so here volume remains little bit vary, volume is little bit vary, temperature remains constant here. Okay, so next one is what, further adding heat to the heat. So initially here some amount of vapor is there, some amount of water is there. So it is a mixture of vapor and water. It is called as wet steam. It is called as wet steam. And further adding heat to the wet steam, further adding heat to the wet steam, what happens? All water contents present in the cylinder, that is converted into wet steam. So it is you will get a 100% vapor form, 100% vapor form. So there is no water content in the cylinder. That type of steam is called as dry steam. That type of steam is called as dry steam. So pure form of steam, it is also called as pure form of steam. Okay, this is called as pure form of steam. Then further adding heat to the dry steam, what happened? You will get superheated steam. Okay, if you add further heat to the dry steam, then you will get superheated steam. Okay, so again one more time we'll discuss one by one. So initially one cylinder you take, and 1 kg of water you place in a cylinder. Then certain weight of piston is placed above the water, and initially the 1 kg of water having a volume V. Okay, so just adding heat to the water, so slowly that water gets heated and slowly converting into vapor. At that time what volume is volume, so volume is little bit increases, and that water is slowly converting into saturation state. So slowly that water gets into heated and converting into saturation state. Once the water reaches to saturation state, then temperature won't be raises, temperature won't be raises, remains constant only. Further whatever heat is added to the cylinder, that all heat is utilized to convert water into vapor, convert water into vapor at a constant temperature, at constant temperature. Okay, so along with that, so this type of steam is called as what? Here vapor is also present as well as water is also there. So water mixed vapor is called as wet steam. Water mixed vapor is called as wet steam. So further adding heat to the wet steam, what happens? All the water contents will be evaporated. All the water content will be evaporated. All the water content will be evaporated. You will get a fresh type of steam, the pure form of steam you will get. That type of steam is called as dry steam. That type of steam is called as dry steam. And further adding heat to the dry steam, so you will get superheated steam. So along with this diagram in the exam, how formation of steam is nothing but, along with this 5 diagram, you have to draw the PV diagram. You have to draw the TS diagram, TH diagram. Okay, temperature enthalpy diagram, that is also important. So if they ask so explain with the neat sketch, explain the steam formation, is nothing but you have to draw this 5 diagram. Along with this 5 diagram you have to draw TH diagram. This is a temperature enthalpy diagram. So temperature is in y axis, enthalpy is in x axis. This procedure is same for previous, that is a experimental method of formation of steam. This is a graphical method of formation of steam. That is the difference. Okay, so I will tell you what is that one by one. So initially the in the container, in the previous experiment you just see, the initially in the container 0 degree temperature, certain 1 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius you just added to the container or cylinder. Okay, so initially you was in here. Okay, so initially 0 degree Celsius water is added to the cylinder, then you adding heat. Okay, you adding heat to the cylinder, you adding heat to the cylinder. What happens? Temperature is raises, along with that enthalpy also raises. Okay, so initially the water is at 0 degree Celsius. If you add heat to the cylinder, what happens? The 0 degree water gets into heated, and slowly the temperature of water is raises, along with that enthalpy of water is also rises. So here water heating system, this is called as water heating system. Initially it was in liquid state only, it is in the water state only. Okay, so here The enthalpy is nothing but total amount of energy in a thermodynamic system. Total amount of energy in a thermodynamic system. Okay, so initially the water is at 0 degree Celsius. If you add heat to the water, what happens? That water slowly gets into heated and raises temperature. Along with raising of temperature, enthalpy also raises. Okay, and reaches to saturation temperature So this portion, this total portion, A to B portion, is called as what? A to B portion is called as sensible heat. It is also called as sensible heat. Okay, so how we can define the sensible heat? So it is the sensible heat is nothing but amount of heat required or amount of energy required to raise the temperature of water at 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature. Okay, so that is called as sensible heat. So sensible heat is nothing but the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water. We are using 1 kg of water from 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature. That is called as sensible heat. I hope all of you understood. So initially the certain 1 kg of water is placed in a cylinder. That water temperature at 0 degree Celsius, we are adding heat. Because of that heat, water gets into heated and raising here. So temperature of the water is increases, along with enthalpy of the water is also increases. So this portion is called as A to B raising of portion is called as what? Sensible heat. In this state, the water is at liquid state only, and it is reaching from 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature. If you adding heat to the water is rising from 0 degree Celsius to sensible heat. Okay, so what is that sensible heat? It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water from 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature from 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature. So that is called as sensible heat. Okay, that is called as sensible heat. Once it is reaches to the sensible heat, once it is reaches to the B, if you adding further heat to the boiler, if you add further heat to the cylinder, what happens? That whatever heat is supplied to the cylinder, that all heat is utilized to convert water into vapor. So this portion is called as, so in this portion entire water gets into heated and converting from liquid state to vapor state. In this state, it is a mixture of liquid plus vapor state. So it is called as, here the temperature remains constant. Why? Because whatever heat is supplied to the cylinder, that all heat is utilized to converting from liquid state to vapor state. So this portion is called as, it is denoted by HFG, that is nothing but latent heat. Okay, so that is called as latent heat. So here it is in the wet steam. Okay, wet steam formation is nothing but it is contained mixture of liquid plus vapor. So certain quantity of liquid of water and certain quantity of steam is present. So mixture of steam is called as wet steam. So this is called as HFG. So HFG is nothing but latent heat. So how we can define the latent heat? So latent heat is nothing but it is the amount of energy required to convert 1 kg of water at saturation temperature to 1 kg of dry saturation steam. So initially it was in saturation state, and at the end also it becomes a saturation state only, but this portion is converting from wet steam into dry steam. At this point the entire steam is converting into dry steam. There is no water particle here present in the point C. So in the point B, it was some portion will be vapor, some portion will be liquid. So at point C, so all water vapor gets into heated and converting into steam. So there is no water particle here. So it is here you will get pure form of steam. At the point C, you will get pure form of steam. So you can explain like this. It is the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of water at 1 kg of water at saturation temperature to a 1 kg of dry saturated steam at same temperature remains constant Ts and is given pressure at a given pressure. So that in that way you can explain latent heat. It is the amount of energy required to convert 1 kg of water at saturation temperature to a 1 kg of dry saturation temperature, dry steam at the same temperature. It is called as latent heat of evaporation. Okay, evaporation, latent heat or latent heat of evaporation. So I hope all of you understood. So here it was in wet steam. Why? Because it is a mixture of liquid plus vapor mixture. Then at the end you will get pure form of steam, then it is called as dry steam. Okay, so next, what happens further adding heat to the dry steam? What happens further if you adding further heat? It again the temperature is raising and you will get superheated steam. At the point D you will get superheated temperature. Here saturation temperature, initially water is at 0 degree Celsius and reaches to saturation temperature, and again further adding heat to the water, what happens? It reaches to the super saturation temperature. Likewise the graph will be raising. So initially 0 degree saturation temperature, then it will be further adding heat, it is converting from to superheated temperature. So superheated temperature, it is denoted by T superheated, and enthalpy of superheated is denoted by H superheated. So H superheated is nothing but superheated temperature is nothing but it is a combination of sensible heat plus latent heat along with that superheated enthalpy, superheated steam. Okay, so that is a combination, superheated region. So it is a combination of sensible heat plus latent heat is nothing but dry steam. It is a combination of dry steam along with that this term, superheated region term, that is called as superheated enthalpy. So here HF is nothing but sensible heat. Okay, enthalpy of sensible heat. HFG is nothing but enthalpy of latent heat. So Hg is equal to combination of HF plus HFG. So Hg is nothing but the dry steam enthalpy. Hg is nothing but dry steam enthalpy. So in that dry steam enthalpy, the formula of dry steam enthalpy, Hg is equal to HF plus HFG. Okay, I hope all of you understood the graph of this method. So once again I will explain. If you have any doubt, please go through it. Okay, so here initially the water is at 0 degree Celsius. 1 kg of water is taken in a cylinder and adding heat to the water. So what happens? It is slowly converting from 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature. So certain 1 kg of water is taken in a cylinder, you adding heat to the water. So what happens? The water gets into heated and temperature of the water is raising. Along with that enthalpy also raising. Temperature of the water gets into heated, and along with that enthalpy also raises. So this portion is called as sensible heat. So here the temperature is reaches to saturation state. So how we can define the sensible heat? It is the amount of energy required to raise the temperature of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature. That is called as sensible heat. It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature at a given pressure. It is denoted by HF. Okay, so here the water is reaches to saturation state, then it is if you further adding heat to the water, what happens? It is slowly converting from liquid state to vapor state, but the temperature remains constant. Why? Because whatever heat is supplied to the steam, all heat is utilized to converting from liquid state to vapor state, vaporizing state. So initially it was in wet steam, then all wet steam gets converted into dry steam. Okay, So that type of that is called as vaporizing state. Okay, it is denoted by HFG. It is denoted by HFG. HFG is nothing but the latent heat. How to define latent heat? It is the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of water at the saturation temperature to 1 kg of dry steam. So initially it was in saturation temperature only, TS only. So converting from saturation temperature to 1 kg of dry steam. At the point C, all water gets converted to steam. So pure form of steam will be obtained at the point C. So the pure form of steam is called as dry steam. The pure form of steam is called as dry steam. Okay, understood, right? So how to explain latent heat? Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water from 0 degree Celsius from saturation temperature to 1 kg of dry saturated steam at the same temperature at a given pressure. So temperature remains constant in the latent heat. So further adding heat to the steam, what happens? You will get superheated steam. Okay, superheated steam. So superheated steam temperature is T superheated. Temperature is raising from Ts to T superheated. So how to explain superheat? It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of dry saturated steam. Here dry saturated steam above its saturation temperature and at a pressure. Process is called as superheating. So what is the function of superheat? So superheat is nothing but amount of heat required to raise the temperature of dry saturated steam. Amount of temperature is required to raise the so amount of heat required to raise the temperature of dry saturated steam above its saturation temperature, so that temperature increases to superheated chamber. So the use of superheating is to increasing the efficiency and increasing the work output. The formula for finding superheating steam is CPS into T superheated minus T saturated. T superheated minus T saturated into CPS. CPS is nothing but specific heat. CPS is nothing but specific heat into temperature difference T superheated minus T saturated. Okay, so Hg is nothing but dry saturated enthalpy. Hg is equal to Hf plus Hfg. Hf is nothing but the sensible heat. Hfg is nothing but latent heat. Sensible heat along with latent heat. Okay, and superheated chamber is nothing but it is a combination of Hf plus Hfg plus CPS into Tp superheated minus Ts. Okay, I hope all of you understood. If you have any doubt, please approach me. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. So types of steam. So wet steam. So wet steam is defined as a two-phase mixture. Two-phase mixture is nothing but either along with the steam some amount of water presents. So that type of mixture of steam plus water is called as wet steam. So liquid and vapor steam, the formed at a saturation temperature at a given pressure. The wet steam formed contains small water particle. Small water particle is present in a steam held in suspension that has not yet absorbed and latent heat evaporated. So wet steam is nothing but it is a water particle present in a steam. Then mixture of water plus steam is called as wet steam. Then what is the dry steam? Dry steam is a pure form of steam that does not contain a water particle in suspension. Does not contain any water particle. Pure form of steam. It is defined as a steam that exists completely in pure vapor form. Okay, at the saturation temperature and at the given pressure. Pure form of steam is called as dry saturated steam. And next one is superheated steam. It is defined as a steam that is heated beyond its dry saturated. If the steam is heated beyond the dry saturated state to a temperature higher than its saturation temperature and at a given pressure, the temperature at which the superheated steam is formed is called as superheated temperature and is denoted by T superheated. Okay, superheated steam, it is defined as the steam that is heated beyond its dry saturated state to a temperature higher than the saturation temperature. Okay, it is denoted by T superheated temperature. Okay, so next the steam property will studies. So dryness fraction, this is very important for wet steam. Okay, dryness fraction, it is denoted by X. It is the ratio of dryness. So dryness fraction is very important for wet steam. It is the ratio of mass of dry steam present in a wet steam divided by mass of wet steam. Mass of dry steam present in a wet steam to the wet steam. So it is defined as a ratio of mass of dry steam present in a wet steam, quantity, known quantity of wet steam to the total mass of wet steam. So mg is nothing but mass of dry steam. Dry steam is directly indicated by mg divided by mass of latent heat of mass plus dry steam. Okay, so mass of dry steam mg and mass of suspended water particle mf. Okay, so we have to divide, then you will get x. Okay, so for example, if 1 kg of wet steam contains 0.9 kg, okay, 0.9 kg, so dry steam, okay, dry vapor, dryness fraction, so dryness fraction should be less than 1. Okay, so it is coming in point only, so it should not come more than point. So 100% is nothing but if x is equal to 1 in the dry steam, dry steam is nothing but there is no water particle. Okay, so consider, so 10% water particle, then 90% steam. So in that case, the dryness fraction is 0.9. So how much percentage of the steam is present? That is nothing but dryness fraction. Consider the 10% is having water. Okay, 10% is having water, and remaining 90% is steam. Okay, in that case, x value should be 0.9. X value should be 0.9. For wet steam, the dryness fraction ranges from 0 to 1. Okay, for dry steam, x is equal to 1. This is very important for the problems. For dry steam, the value of x is equal to 1. For wet steam, value of x is equal to less than 1. Okay, less than 1. For dry steam, value of x is equal to 1 only. Okay, so the formula for dry steam is what we'll see in the next slide. Okay, so I hope all of you understood what is the dryness fraction. Dryness fraction is only for wet steam, not for dry steam. Okay, so next we'll see the sensible heat. What is that sensible heat? It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water, 1 kg of water from 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature. So raising from 0 degree to saturation temperature, that is nothing but sensible heat. I already shown in the graph. It is initially it was in 0 degree Celsius, and raising to saturation temperature, it is denoted by HF. So it is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water we can taken for the experiment of water from 0 degree Celsius to saturation temperature at a given pressure. It is denoted by HF. Next, what is that latent heat of evaporation? It is the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of water at the saturation temperature. Convert 1 kg of water at saturation temperature Ts to 1 kg of dry saturated steam. So converting, the temperature remains same in latent heat of evaporation. The temperature remains same, Ts temperature only, but whatever heat is supplied to the water, all heat is utilized to convert from liquid state to vapor state, converting from wet steam to dry steam. Dry steam is nothing but pure form of steam. Wet steam is nothing but water mixed steam. So it is the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of water, 1 kg of water at the saturation temperature, temperature Ts temperature to 1 kg of dry saturated steam. 1 kg of dry saturated steam. So it is the process of B to C in the graph, B to C. Okay, next one is superheat. Superheat is nothing but what? It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of dry saturated steam above its saturation temperature and at a given pressure. The process is known as superheating temperature. Okay, the process is called as superheating temperature. Next one is degree of superheat. What is the degree of superheat? It is defined as the difference between the superheat temperature and the saturation temperature. That is called as degree of superheat. It is the difference between the superheat temperature and the saturation temperature. The difference between superheat temperature and saturation temperature is called as degree of superheat. Okay, I hope all of you understood what is sensible heat, latent heat as well as superheat. Next one is degree of superheat, is nothing but the difference between T superheated minus T saturation. Next, enthalpy of steam. So enthalpy, I already told, in all where in steam problems we are using not mentioning the specific enthalpy. Instead of specific enthalpy, we just mention the actual enthalpy. Okay, so actually here the specific enthalpy, not enthalpy. Okay, so enthalpy is total heat, is defined as the sum of the internal energy plus the product of pressure and volume. It is denoted by capital H. But here they are mentioned the specific enthalpy. Okay, but they are not mentioned the specific, so that small h is equal is the ratio of capital H divided by mass. So the unit of H is kilojoule divided by mass, so that kilojoule per kg. So enthalpy is equal to H is equal to U plus PV. So enthalpy of steam is the amount of heat energy contained in a unit mass of steam, contained in a unit mass of steam. So that is called as enthalpy. Enthalpy is nothing but total amount of energy in a thermodynamic system. Total amount of energy in a thermodynamic system is called as enthalpy. So the formula of enthalpy is this one: H is equal to U plus PV. U is nothing but internal energy, plus P is nothing but pressure, V is nothing but volume. Okay, next we'll see the enthalpy of wet steam. So it is denoted by HF. Okay, we already seen. So wet steam enthalpy, HF is nothing but the sensible enthalpy of sensible heat. HFG is nothing but enthalpy of latent heat. Okay, HF is nothing but sensible heat, enthalpy of sensible heat. HFG is nothing but enthalpy of latent heat. Okay, so here X is required for wet steam. So I already told what is X. X is nothing but dryness fraction. Dryness fraction is required for only for wet steam. So it is nothing but the water mixed steam. So if it is pure form of steam, then X is not required. X is equal to X value is 1. So in the wet steam, X value is not 1. Why? Because it is the amount of steam is present, that will indicates. Okay, so how to define the enthalpy of wet steam? So enthalpy of wet steam is defined as the amount of heat required at a given pressure to convert 1 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius. Okay, so initially water is at 0 degree Celsius to and reaches to, if you are adding heat, it reaches to saturation temperature. Same thing we have to explain here. So enthalpy, so water at 0 degree Celsius to 1 kg of wet steam, 1 kg of wet steam at a given dryness fraction, that is called as enthalpy of wet steam. So what is the formula? It is denoted by HW. The enthalpy of wet steam is denoted by HW. So HW is equal to HF plus X into HFG. Okay, HW is equal to HF plus X into HFG. X is nothing but the dryness fraction. Okay, so HFG is nothing but the latent heat. HF is nothing but the sensible heat. Understood? HW is equal to HF plus X into HFG. So enthalpy of wet steam is nothing but enthalpy, amount of heat required at a given pressure to convert 1 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius to 1 kg of wet steam. 1 kg of wet steam, converting all 0 degree water into wet steam is nothing but water mixed steam. So the formula is very important. Okay, so to solve some of the problems, formula is important. So how to denote enthalpy of wet steam? HW is equal to HF plus X into HFG. This X value is nothing but dryness fraction. This should be less than 1, not 1. Okay, not 1. I hope all of you understood what is that enthalpy of wet steam. Then we'll see the enthalpy of dry saturated steam. So enthalpy of dry saturated steam is denoted by Hg. So previous one, wet steam, we are indicated by HW. For enthalpy of dry steam, indicated by Hg. So how to define Hg? So it is defined as the amount of heat required at a given pressure to convert 1 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius, starting from 0 degree Celsius only, to dry saturated steam at a saturation temperature. So converting from 0 degree Celsius to dry steam, so that is nothing but HF plus HFG. So HF is nothing but sensible heat, HFG is nothing but latent heat. Both are required. So it is defined as the amount of heat required to convert 1 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius to 1 kg of dry saturated steam. How much amount of energy is required, how much amount of heat is required, that is nothing but dry saturated steam. That is nothing but enthalpy of dry saturated steam. So it is denoted by Hg. So here X is not there, remaining thing is, everything is same. Okay, HF plus HFG. So here also X if you include, so X value is how much? 1. So that you can easily neglect the X term. Okay, so here in dry saturated steam, actual formula is HF plus X into HFG. So in dry saturated steam, X is equal to how much? 1. So X is equal to 1 here, X is equal to 1, so that you can easily neglect the term. Okay, next one is enthalpy of superheated steam. So how we can define the enthalpy of superheated steam? It is defined as the amount of heat required at a given pressure to convert 1 kg of water, at 0 degree Celsius to 1 kg of superheated steam at a given superheated temperature. So superheated formula is this one, H superheated is equal to Hg plus Cps into T superheated minus T saturated. Hg is nothing but dry saturated steam, HF plus HFG, plus T superheated into T superheated temperature minus T saturated. This is nothing but what? Specific heat of superheated steam. Specific heat of superheated steam. So this value usually they will mention in the question. Okay, kilojoule per kg. Okay, I hope all of you understood what is that superheated steam. It is defined as the amount of heat required at a given pressure to convert 1 kg of water at 0 degree Celsius to 1 kg of superheated steam at a given superheated temperature. It is denoted by H superheated. Okay. So next we'll see the specific volume of steam. Specific volume, it is similar to that of previous one, specific volume. So specific volume of steam is defined as the volume occupied by the unit mass. Okay, volume, specific volume is nothing but actual volume divided by unit mass, okay, of steam at a given temperature and pressure. It is denoted by actual volume unit is meter cube per kg divided by mass. So that per kg divided by kg. Okay, next we'll see the specific volume of saturated water. So what is that? It is defined as a volume occupied by 1 kg of water at a saturation temperature and at a given pressure. It is denoted by Vf. So saturation specific volume, Vf is also called as volume of sensible heat. So specific volume of wet steam. So wet steam is VW, HW, similar to that of HW. We can indicate it by VW. But here no need of calculating anything. HF plus X into HFG. Just multiply X into Vg. Okay, X into Vg. Vg is nothing but the volume of dry saturated steam. VW is nothing but volume of wet saturated steam. Just volume of wet saturated steam is equal to X into X is nothing but dryness fraction into volume of dry saturated steam. So just multiplying X term is nothing but amount of steam present along with water. Okay, that is nothing but dryness fraction. Okay, so just multiplying the volume, so then you will get the volume of wet steam. Okay, volume of wet steam. So wet steam contains a two-phase mixture of saturated water and vapor steam. Hence specific volume of wet steam is defined as the volume occupied by the saturated water and vapor at a given pressure. So you can easily it is wet steam is nothing but it is a combination of water plus steam. Okay, it is a mixture of water plus steam. So mixture of steam. So hence the specific volume of wet steam is defined as the volume occupied by the saturated water and vapor. Volume occupied by the saturated water plus vapor is called as wet steam, VW. It is denoted by VW is equal to X into Vg. Vg is nothing but a pure form of steam. Okay, into you have to multiply into dryness fraction in order to find out the volume of wet steam. So wet steam is nothing but it is a combination of saturation water volume along with vapor volume. Okay. Next, specific volume of dry saturated steam. What is that? It is defined as the volume occupied by 1 kg of dry saturated steam at a saturation temperature. It is denoted by Vg. The Vg value you can directly obtain from the steam table. For steam problem, one steam table is required, data handbook is required. There for a particular pressure as well as temperature, you can directly note down the value. So I will tell you how to see the steam table in the class. So now I will tell you directly I will tell you the values. Okay, so based on the pressure given as well as temperature given, you can note down the values of Vg, Hg, Hf, Hfg, everything it is available in the data handbook. So that from that you can note down the value. Then specific volume of superheated steam. So how to calculate specific volume of superheated steam? It is defined as the volume occupied by 1 kg of superheated steam at a superheated temperature and at a given pressure. It is denoted by V superheated. So V superheated. Okay, so 1 kg of superheated steam at a superheat temperature and at a given pressure, it is denoted by V superheated. The formula of V superheated is equal to the, from this relation you can find out the superheated volume. So V superheated divided by T superheated temperature, and Vg is nothing but the dry saturated volume divided by saturation temperature. Dry saturated steam is obtained at the saturation temperature. Superheated steam will be obtained at a superheated temperature, like that. Okay, so from that relation you can find out V superheated is equal to Vg into T superheated divided by Ts. Vg into T superheated divided by Ts. So T superheated and Ts are in Kelvin. The all temperature unit are in Kelvin. I hope all of you understood the what is the formula of specific volume of superheated steam, specific volume of dry saturated steam, everything. So this data or formula is required to find out solve the different problems. Okay, so next, density of steam. So density of steam, how we can find out? Density is nothing but it is the ratio of mass by volume. So this data is not required, you just go through it, it is there in notes. So if you have any doubt, you please ask me. Okay, next, external work of evaporation, this thing at all is not required. And internal energy, this is also not required. Okay, just for the information, you just go through it, it is there in notes. Okay, so internal energy, it is the combination of potential energy plus kinetic energy, along with that some kind of energy available. Okay, so that is nothing but internal energy. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any doubt, please approach me. Today's class we already discussed about the formation of steam. So first discussed about enthalpy. What is that enthalpy? Enthalpy is nothing but total amount of energy in a thermodynamic system. Along with that, we already studied about the difference between specific enthalpy as well as actual enthalpy. The unit of actual enthalpy is kilojoule. The specific enthalpy unit is kilojoule per kg. Then what is that entropy? Entropy is nothing but measure the disorderness of a molecule. So that is nothing but entropy. Along with that, we already studied the formation of experiment. One experiment we conducted, take some 1 kg of water at 0 degrees Celsius in a cylinder and heating, how it will be changing process from 0 degrees Celsius to saturation temperature. After that, how it will be converting from wet steam to dry steam. Then further adding heat, what happens? Dry steam into superheated steam. Everything we studied the experiment. Same study we'll see in the graph also, graph plots. So how it will be changes from one state to another state. So what is that sensible heat? So sensible heat is nothing but amount of energy required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water at 0 degrees Celsius to saturation temperature. Then latent heat is nothing but what? Latent is nothing but amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water from saturation temperature to dry steam, and further adding heat, what happens? It is converting from dry steam to superheated. Everything we studied, and along with that we already studied about enthalpy of wet steam and volume of wet steam, enthalpy of dry steam as well as volume of dry steam, what is the formula and what is the unit, and enthalpy of superheated steam and volume of superheated steam. So how to calculate, everything we studied in this class. That all formula as well as unit is required to solve the problems. Along with that, we need the steam table also to note down the data. So it is related to constant pressure and constant volume data. Based on that, based on the information, you can note down the value. So if you have any doubt, next class onwards I will start the problems on steams. Okay, so I hope all of you understood this the formation of steam, everything. If you have any doubt, please approach me. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you, one and all.